Yeah, tell me a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Basically had a coaching and hypnotherapy practice that I built up over the course of 5 or 6 years. I sold to my partner about 18 months ago. And so I went back to my construction business I did before that. I'm looking to like do some research for a new market I'd like to do for a different business. As soon as I got back into construction, I pretty much wanted to get out. It's a matter of like transitioning to something new, but kind of doing it in a more conscious way. That's kind of why I'm looking to do some research besides just like word of mouth kind of research, like talking to people, which I'm hoping to do more of too. But I'd like to use the AI thing we talked about to do some research in that way too.
Yeah, I mean, those are two very different markets too, like hypnotherapy to construction. That's
Yeah,
just very different.
I like helping people in the more of that way than I do with construction. It's very much like left brain kind of stuff. I
Mm.
try to make it a little bit more personalized with what the way that I do it, but it's still, it is what it is. My strategy has always been like the Tim Ferriss, like let's eliminate as many things as possible, outsource some things, but I know myself enough to know that I'm not like somebody who just like sits over somebody and manages them, or the idea of like managing somebody in general is just it sounds horrible to me. Like I like having a business partner I never had to manage at all. So being on the same team as somebody like that works for me. But it's kind of one of those things that's kind of the way that I've set things up to try to at least reduce my stress as much as possible.
Yeah, that makes sense. Huge fan of Tim Ferriss. Came across his stuff in, I don't know, 2006 or something with 2007 4 Hour Work Week launch. And my wife and I went and traveled the world for 2 years on affiliate marketing income, 2009 through 2011. And then the whole business fell off, and I went through identity crisis for about a year, and all that good stuff.
Am I echoing? Because it says my audio is echoing or something.
You're not, but when I talk, I think it's your microphone will cancel it out. It was echoing for a second, but I think it cleared it up. So I think we're good. You're not echoing on my end, so it's probably just me echoing coming back through your speakers. I'll share my screen anyway, and we can just kind of give some background context for this, just really quickly, and then talk about kind of whatever you want to look at during the time. So we're both in Perry Marshall's group, and someone had asked a question about finding a new business idea and working through a new business. And it basically asked, hey, my son's 18 years old. I would like to help him find the next opportunity. And Perry always talks about finding a bleeding neck, which means like if somebody is in a specific kind of situation in life where it's like, if your neck is bleeding, you will do whatever it takes to resolve that problem because you're probably going to die. Yeah. And what we try to do when going and looking at markets is, what is the bleeding neck in this market? What is the thing that somebody would literally just fight tooth and nail to get a solution to this problem? So I am echoing just a little bit. I don't know if you want to turn down your your speakers just slightly. If you can still hear me, okay, that'll probably fix that issue. Okay, so basically I responded back in here and said, hey, what you could do is pick something you're actually interested in, or he's actually interested, and then go find the market and find what's in that market. So that's kind of what we're going to be doing on this call. Will had asked me in this thread, like, how do we do that? What would that look like? And so is there a specific like market you want to go look at?
Yeah, I know it's a little bit weird to say this, but I'm almost a little bit worried that
somebody else will take it if we post this somewhere.
Somebody else will do something. So I'm wondering like if you need a specifics or what.
Not really. We should just pick something though. Like whatever it is, it can be anything at all, really.
Yeah. Let's do something that I know I'm not going to do now for sure, but I had thought in the past I was going to help people with. So helping therapists with their marketing, because I had a lot of experience because I did that, for a while. I definitely know I don't want to do that now because the real world implications of it. That's probably what, I don't know if you need more information than that or not.
No, I think that's totally fine. So we want to find therapists who want to get more clients, basically. So what we need to find online is where therapists hang out and complain.
Okay.
Basically, right? We want to see where therapists go to talk about their business. I don't actually know where that is online, right? So So I would go, help me grow my therapy. And just as an initial search, right? So, and I'm on Reddit, question about progressive muscle relaxation. Hi, I could have talked to someone. Hi, everyone. I'm currently a therapist experiencing burnout, really considering leading the profession. Okay, so this is interesting. We're actually in, this is the couch for therapists. I don't know, maybe. I don't know when I started. This looks like with people.
I'm actually a member
like
of of one of the therapist
of this?
Reddit, not this one, but the therapist Reddit. I think that one, or one of the other ones that you went over, and they do talk about a lot of like client interactions. Like they talk about like, I'm experiencing this with a client. Like, what do I do on these?
What clients do you choose to work with and why, right? So we could even go into like a discussion thread like this. Looks like it has 188 comments in it. And ultimately, maybe there's some things in here about, well, I mean, there would be all kinds of stuff in here, right? I mean, I just scrolled through this. This is what do therapists like to do, what do they not like to do, and why. So what we're going to try and do is get a sense of this entire market. So that's one place we'll pull something from, probably just this thread. And really the whole point of this, we're not going to do like a comprehensive search on this, but really just to talk through the process as much as anything. Okay, so help me grow my therapy practice, therapy business. I might go here. I'm just going to pull up a couple of these. Positive psychology.
Is this place that you're searching on here, this pre-search, is that part of the—
No, pre-search is actually a crypto. So I just switched my Google search to pre-search because I get a tiny little bit of crypto every time I search for something.
Okay.
So I'm running crypto nodes for pre-search. Whole other conversation probably. So, but yeah, we're on Google. How to grow my therapy business, forum for therapists. And so whatever your issue is or whatever thing it is you're looking to go into a marketing, you do something like this, right? Go find a forum, go find where the target or where that market is actually hanging out. Therapy flow, 10 proven ideas, top 9 therapy websites. No, struggling with finding clients. So that's actually another Reddit thread, but there's 90 plus comments in there. So there's some good stuff in there. Social media marketing 101 for therapists. This is a blog post. Looking for a forum. There used to be so many great forums online.
Yeah, no,
they're a little harder to find. They don't come up in Google as much. How to start a private therapy practice. This is somebody's blog, marketing for therapists. Forum for growing a therapy business, like therapy business forum. Thetherapist.com, topics for therapists. Maybe that's something. Anyway, I would go find some forums, right? That's the first. I just go find a bunch of places, find where your target market is hanging out online and complaining or offering each other suggestions of things. Like once you've got that, like what I would do out of here, you can use AI. There's lots of great AI scraper tools. You could use Zapier to run a scrape of that site. You can even now use, there's inside of ChatGPT, there are plugins for scraping other websites. So YouTube summaries would be one example. I don't remember I know I've seen them in here. I haven't actually used this one. We use other tools for like scraping. But let's see, scrape the text content of any website. Great. So we're going to start there. That's going to be let's see, scrape content from web pages by providing a URL. That's fine. So what we're going to try and do is get all of this. I don't know why a C represents scrapey, but that's fine. So, and I don't know how that plugin works exactly, but please get all the comments from this URL. And we'll go here. Have you used ChatGPT much? I guess we could start there.
Yes, I've used the free version of it some. I've played around with some different prompts. I don't think I've ever really specifically used it for market research.
We're just going to grab all the comments from here as a starting point. And I've never used this plugin before. Again, we use other tools for scraping. And there are some really crazy, ridiculous tools that you can get hyper specific with the kind of content you want to scrape. So I have no idea what this is going to do. But in general, yeah, it's using Scrapey. I wasn't able to retrieve the comments due to a scraping issue. Reddit comments are often loaded dynamically. Great. Okay. So what we could do out of this is just copy like the whole thing, right? I'm just going to go down here and I'm going to put this into a Google Drive doc. All of this all the way up. Our little scraper thing didn't work, but there's lots and lots and lots of ways to scrape content. Not that you necessarily should, but it's happening billions of times every day with all kinds of automated systems. That doesn't necessarily make it right, but at the same time, like, you're not going to take this content and repost it as is verbatim on your own website. You're just using it for research, and you're going to use the AI tools to do faster research for you. Basically, we're going to do Control-Shift-V here and just paste this in without formatting. Once it loads, we have 48 pages of stuff. I'm just going to export this, download as a PDF.
And do you need to do the thing that we're doing right now? Do you need an advanced version of ChatGPT or some sort of paid service? And that's fine.
You really should have, the $20 a month version. Of this. Yep. Therapitis.
That's what it's these.
Well, Freudian slip there, I guess. All right, here we go. So let's minimize this. We'll go back over to ChatGPT. Okay, so inside of ChatGPT, you can, in addition to having the just regular ChatGPT, they have this thing called Data Analyst. And you can upload a file in here of pretty much anything, and it will then analyze that file. And you can get it to analyze, I think it's up to 20,000 characters now, but you can have it analyze multiple things. So let's say we went to multiple Reddit threads and did what we just did. We got a whole bunch of details from a whole bunch of Reddit threads about our thing. So we wouldn't just do the one. We'd find Reddit threads, we'd find forums, we'd find websites maybe where people are just commenting on a blog post and there's several hundred comments on a blog post. And we would just go and find where our target market is, where they're hanging out, where they're saying good things about what they do, where they're saying bad things about what they do. And then we're just going to upload this and say, okay, these are comments from a Reddit thread about therapists, what clients they choose to work with and why. So what we're doing is just giving it context. They choose not to work with and why. And what I should have said is, please confirm you've read this. And just reply with a word, right? Read or whatever. I'm not sure what it's going to come back with now because I hit send too soon. But the comments from the Reddit thread. So now it's already telling me, it's already summarizing for me because I didn't give it more specific instructions. So it's already summarizing everything that I've given it. So we'll just let this. I'm going to go ahead and stop this and say. So now we can. It's already understanding what we've given it. So I could say, I'm now to give you comments from, and we're going to just grab from somewhere else, right? So in theory, we could go and grab an unlimited number of things and put them all in this one chat.
Right.
And just give it all of that data. So we'll just do another one. Just what was this one? Therapist Couch, question about progressive. No, we want one that's really specifically, because what it's going to do is make its decisions and share the information that we give it. Or share its information based on the information we give it. So this one is about marketing for therapists. So I'm just going to copy all of this text as well. This article here is just one of the ones that came up in our Google search. And this is 15 tips to grow your business as a therapist, as a private practice. So I copied all of that text. I'm going to say the following is general advice on a blog post. You'd give it a little more context as you're going through this, from a coach for therapists.
And as a general practice, what you're doing is you're just essentially telling what kind of information it is. And I know the first time you did it, it sort of summarized it automatically. What did you want it to do that it didn't?
Yeah, it can summarize all that for me. That's fine. But really, I want to give it a huge body of work to analyze from.
Okay.
And I want to be really selective about what I'm giving it because it will return its results based on what I put in here to begin with.
Right.
So we're going to give it lots of context to understand what we're trying to do. And the better context we give it and the more content we give it within that context, the better the result is that we're going to get back from whatever we want to query about. If that makes sense.
Sure.
Cool. So please just reply with a confirmation that you have read all of this. Right. And normally what you would do is just data scrape as opposed to going through these copy and paste steps. And there's, again, lots of ways to do data scraping. I've read the entire blog post, and now it's telling me what it understands. The blog post provides an extensive list of tips and insights, so it's actually still doing summary. And it realizes who wrote it, Mari A. Lee, right? That's, I guess, whose website we're on. I didn't even know that. So it's understood that how to grow your therapy practice in 2022. Maybe this is useful, maybe this is not for current tips, but we would want to look through the data we're scraping and just be sure that we understand that, right? So we'd get a lot of data that we would plug in. Struggling with finding clients. I don't think we put this in here.
No, not that I know of.
So I'm going to copy all of this as well. And when I go to paste in here, I just hit Control-Shift-V, which pastes it without formatting and just lets it paste faster. And you can see it's got all this downvote, upvote, share, right? I just copied and pasted the text. So GPT is going to understand that those are just part of Reddit if we explain, hey, this is another Reddit thread about someone's frustrations with growing their business.
And I'm guessing you found a way to put this straight into ChatGPT because the first time you did a PDF, right? I guess that's not necessary if you just do something all right.
This one has like 90 comments, or 6. What is this? 96 comments. The other one had like 300. So okay. I don't think I could copy and paste all of that in, which is why I did it with a PDF.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is another Reddit thread with a therapist. Please confirm you have read this with 2 sentences in summary, explaining what you understand. Dun, dun, dun. So it's going to, go do its thing. Hopefully it's not like too busy, but the Reddit thread discusses. So it's understanding everything, a challenge the chair therapist is facing. Okay, so we would feed it with all kinds of data like this. And then we're going to just start asking it questions about the data that we want to understand the answers to. And we can also give it context. So one of the things that I learned from Sam Woods, actually, at Perry's Definitive Traffic Seminar is he gave some really cool prompts for GPT. And so you are looking to help therapists with their biggest business problems. Please give, based on what I've given you, you are and we should give it even more context than this. So you are a serial entrepreneur.
Yeah, you gotta tell it what this role is.
Right. You're a serial entrepreneur who wants to build a business supporting therapists. You are looking to fix the biggest problems therapists have in their business. Based on what I've given you, please give me a bulleted list with each bullet item having no more than 6 words. I'm just throwing something out there.
Screenshot this just so whenever you're finished.
Yeah, no, you can totally. And I'll send you the recording afterwards too. So, but yeah, I'm just coming up with a query right on the fly. But over time, you could build up a list of these things that you would use these prompts that you would use to query GPT and be like, wow, if I want to analyze a new market, or if I want to go into the same market but analyze a different portion of it of my previous prompts, what am I using now? I have just a Google Doc and a Google Sheet where I just keep track of prompts. That was kind of cool. I kind of like what I came up with there, or I like what this other person did that I saw, and you just keep a sheet of cool prompts. But yeah, I'll copy and paste this into the chat too. So you're a serial entrepreneur who wants to build a business supporting therapists. You're looking based on what I've given you, please give me a bulleted list with each bullet item having no more than 6 words. The top 15 issues therapists seem to have. I don't know. I'm just totally throwing something out there, right? But the concept is we're gonna just ask it questions based on the data we've just fed it to try and find where the bleeding neck in this market might be.
Sure.
So it's going to build us a big list, and then that becomes a list of needs and issues that we can look to address. One cool prompt while it's doing this. One cool prompt I got from Sam Woods is you are a master of persuasion and influence and seeing connections where none seem to exist. Based on the data I've given you, what would be 3 incredible approaches to letting therapists know you are the best place for them to come to fix their business problems? Right. There's still going to be a huge amount of like thought process that goes into this. I think one of the hardest parts of AI is people are like, it's going to do everything for you. No, you're still going to have to be a human and interact with it. What it's going to do is save 8 hours of research and summarize it in 30 minutes. And then you're still going to make the decisions based on what you learned from doing the activity, but it's going to save hours and hours and hours and hours to actually go build the thing as opposed to trying to understand what it is you need to be building. So, but yeah, I mean, while generating that, it's given us a list. Well, what are the biggest problems? Okay, attracting consistent client flow. Okay, well, there's a lot of stuff out there that probably fixes that, but we could dive into this one thing alone and ask GPT, like, if you were trying to attract therapists, what would be 3 unique ways? Don't tell me SEO, building a website, and blah, blah, blah. I want you to merge up some pieces of information that you've already got in your repository, plus what you've learned from what I've given you, to say what would be really good ways to attract consistent client flow and let it work through some of these issues with you.
Yeah.
Balancing therapy and life coaching. Oh, that's interesting, right? That could be a whole subset niche. I don't know anything about that necessarily, but like I would imagine as a therapist, you're like, gosh, man, like if these people just felt like they were achieving something in life, they wouldn't need therapy. Happy people are with like meaningful relationships and meaningful work are the things that make people happy in life. But I would imagine a therapist is like, gosh, if I could just get their life under control for them and help them have meaningful work and meaningful relationships, they wouldn't need therapy at all. So maybe that's a whole thing. Well, here we go. Master of persuasion and influence. It's given us, just based on this one prompt alone, and I'll copy and paste this in too.
Yeah, for sure.
Leverage success stories in niche specializations. So create compelling narratives around therapists who have successfully carved out themselves. This is a whole podcast idea, just as an example.
I think because the first response you got there for that list of 15 is helpful, but what you just got out of that last prompt, this is
crazy, right? And we haven't even started digging deep. This is just like surface level stuff so far. But we've already got host exclusive networking and mastermind groups. Could there be a coaching club online for therapists where you pull them in? Jeez, you've got a whole marketing strategy here already. You create a podcast and all you do is find therapists who are having success. And the way you find therapists who are having success is you go back to the Google search. Whoever is writing articles like this, 15 steps to grow your therapy practice, if they want to be on your podcast.
Yeah.
Which is specifically for therapists, right? And then on the back end of this, what you're selling out of your podcast is exclusive access to these people. You give these people free marketing within your coaching club. No, I'm totally off the fly right now. This is an easy sort of generation of ideas. Like we've already got a business built. With our 10-minute break in the middle of the call, we did this in 15 minutes. Right. This could take hours and hours. Offer a telehealth excellence toolkit or certification. So within your coaching club, maybe you start trying to figure out how to bring in people who are actually looking for therapists. And then these people have an exclusive certification as part of your program that they can only get through you. So now they needed some way to demonstrate to their market that they were the most valuable therapist to go to. And you did that by creating a private label certification program, or maybe not even a certification because that takes a lot of time and registrations, but you call it something else, call it the whatever. You work to establish some credibility for your certification program, maybe with universities. Maybe you could actually become a certified thing with some universities and it could count for continuing ed credit.
Yeah.
I don't know. We're way down a rabbit hole on the hypothetical market. I mean, in like 10 minutes of research, we've already got some really interesting ideas.
Do you think ChatGPT is the best thing to use for this, or do you think that something else is?
ChatGPT is the one that I have the most experience with, but no, I think people have layered tools on ChatGPT as a background. We're working with a client right now. I've been trying to build a chatbot for them using like actual programming and like really complicated stuff. And we just found a tool called Fastbots that literally I set up a chatbot for them in like 45 minutes. And all I did was fed it all of the data from their website. We fed it some customer interactions from their existing current chat with real humans that we thought were really good examples. And yeah, in about 45 minutes or an hour, we've got a really good bot. But the back end of that bot is ChatGPT. It's just that we've layered on stuff on top of it. And this Fastbots tool made it really easy for us to do that.
Yeah. Can you copy that? Or I think you did that last prompt.
This prompt here. Yeah. I mean, here's an interesting idea. Give me 5 prompts that I should next ask you that would give me really unique. It's just fun. You just get in here and start playing around a little bit and be like, what else could I do with this thing?
Yeah, I messed with last time I got on ChatGPT, I just messed around with it for like an hour and a half.
For people right now, like you can go to Fiverr or go to some of these marketplaces online and they will sell you 3,000 amazing prompts for ChatGPT. It's like, yeah, but just think through what you want done and then treat it like a really helpful assistant. Yes. And the better research you give your assistant and the better resources you give your assistant and the better questions you ask your assistant, the better results it's going to bring back for you. So yeah, give me 5 prompts that I should next ask you that would give me really unique marketing ideas to meet the needs of this therapist. Right. From here, we could go down the rabbit hole of this. Like, okay, I want to start a podcast leveraging success stories in niche specializations. Give me 10 ways I could go find the people who should be on my podcast. Like each one of these things has a series of prompts that you could ask it just to get ideas of like, okay, I want to host exclusive networking and mastermind groups. The best way to attract people to those mastermind groups, give me 5 ideas. But here it's giving me prompts. What innovative, it's already doing the thing. Here we go. What innovative online event formats can we create that would attract therapists thinking to expand the referral network and improve client acquisition? Literally what I just said should be your next prompt. It's already told me what I should ask.
It's crazy.
How can we leverage AI? I mean, I'll copy and paste all of this in, but you don't even have to come up with the prompts. You can give it the context and then tell it to give you the prompts you should be asking it.
And it helps that I have experience with this field because I can think of some things that you may not know to search to, some things that maybe it didn't know to think of yet, and just different angles. And I'm sure you could do the same thing with all the markets you've dealt with. It's like the more specialized information you have yourself can even aid in this. But I think AI can replace a lot of that. I mean, it's scraping so much. It has a lot of information there though already.
The thing is always what you give it.
Yeah.
I think there was someone this last week in Perry's forum who was like, I've really not been that impressed with ChatGPT. It's not doing it well for me. And everyone that came back to that forum said, tell me what you're asking. Tell me what you're giving it in order to get the results that you're not happy with, because it's what you bring to it. It's sort of a reflection of life, right? Like what you bring to it is what it's going to bring back to you. I mean, I think like we do a lot of work. I know way more about, I did sales for a mattress company, phone sales for a year and a half in 2012. I can tell you more about memory foam than like 99% of people on the planet. Do I ever think I would know that? No, but working with it, we still work with that mattress company on the marketing side. And just recently I was talking with somebody and I was like, you could give it all the mattress builds, the current builds of the mattresses that you have, and ask it to come up with specs based on the information you give it for like the most comfortable mattress ever, or the perfect mattress for side sleepers, and it will build, if you've given it enough data, it will build all of that for you. You don't have to come up with creative ideas. It will do that as long as you've given it the information it needs in order to be creative.
Yeah. So as far as like a macro view of this, basically I'll try to review everything that I've seen you do. So you find out where the people hang out with a certain market. You do some Google searches that lands on some blogs. We didn't even go down YouTube, but I'm gonna YouTube would be something you could use with this too. In other words, Reddit things, you could select all, you could put it through data analyst. If it's too big, you could put PDFs and upload it. What would you do with a YouTube video? Like, would you try to get a text transcript of the video or something?
Yeah, so most YouTube videos, unless people have shut it off. Most YouTube videos by default have text transcripts.
Okay.
So so let's actually just go to YouTube. But there's scraper plugins inside of here too. So I'm gonna go ahead and just hit a new chat here. I don't want to be in data analyst. I want to just go new chat. Here we go. So inside of a new chat now into here, and there are YouTube scrapers in here, YouTube summaries, insights and summaries for YouTube videos, right? So I wanted to analyze. So let's just go find therapy, help me grow my therapy. So what we could do, and I don't actually know how this is going to work or if this is going to work, but we're going to copy this link address. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to say, we're just going to do 4. Here are 4 YouTube videos about helping therapists, more clients, and grow their business. Like we'll just open how I make 6 figures as a part-time therapist. All right, great. Copy link address, go back over here. I don't know what this and PP is in the URL, but whatever. It's probably like a referral source or something and just telling us it found it from a search. How I'm marketing my therapy practice in 2023, copy link address, and we'll just put a couple in here. I don't know if I can put multiple videos in here or not, so this may not be the best way to go about this, but I will just do 3 just to keep this summary. Please analyze all 3 videos and tell me what they have in common, as well as any unique. Tell me what they have in common. Let's just start there. We could also then write a second query that says, please tell me anything that's unique to one of these. I don't know if it's going to actually be able to do all 3 loading using YouTube summaries. But while it's doing that, we could say, please analyze all 3 videos and tell me any unique ideas that they don't share. It does look like it's running all 3 videos right now.
It's crazy, yeah. You've almost got to test its limits, huh? I guess that's...
Yeah. I mean, especially with the plugins, like there are new plugins coming all the time. Like, what's the one? Visla. Visla is a really cool little video tool here. Like you can then take all the data that you've just gotten and say, now based on everything you've learned, please create me an interesting video based on everything you've learned. And you can send it off to Visla. Or InVideo just got added in here too. So InVideo is another tool, but you could actually have it make videos for you. And then you just go to InVideo and edit them down. But like 90% of the video work or maybe 80% of the video work is done.
So is it like explainer videos? Is that what it generates, or are you talking
explainer? I've done. I haven't actually signed up for the paid version of Visla. I do have the paid version of InVideo, but we actually did it for like some little comedic things for Visla, and they're hilarious. Like I think they're. I mean, comedy sells as well as any other tool on the planet. So it was just like funny little explainer videos. We were doing some stuff for products being sold on. Come on, brain. The big Etsy. There we go. Being sold on Etsy, and we just did some like promotional videos for like coffee mugs and T-shirts. And one of them was about like supermodels and how this mug was the perfect mug for supermodels. Anyway, it was pretty funny, and it just basically built the whole video for us, the script and everything. So please take a comedic approach to selling this product, as though models absolutely need this product or whatever.
It's funny.
Okay, please analyze all 3 videos and tell me any unique ideas that they don't share between them. And in this query, we probably should have said, don't repeat anything you've already told me, right? But it's already told us the things that are important: online presence and marketing, niche focus, building and leveraging networks, passive income streams, sustainable growth strategies, client retention. Right? It's still very generic, we're not down the rabbit hole, but we could pick any one of these things and say, okay, now based on niche focus, we're going to mix this data that we learned here, and we're going to go back over to, do we lose our other whole thread? No. Yes, we did. That's funny. I'll probably just have to refresh this. I don't know what's going on with my computer refresh, but anyway, analyzing the unique ideas from each video that are not shared among all 3, we find the following results. Start your therapy practice. Starting from scratch, personal network leverage. In video 1, these are the things that are unique about this video. In video 2, part-time high earnings, passive income focus is really video 2. Video 3 is about these things. which you may find a really unique idea in one of these videos that you could then merge with the research we just did to really come up with something, right? Within, maybe these are the, here we go. Within your $49 a month or $99 a month or $149 a month or $1,000 a month coaching program, these are some of the videos that these are your topics for like subject areas. And maybe you don't even have to build them. Maybe you just contact this person who's about achieving 6 figures as a part-time therapist, and you say, hey, do you want to be an expert in our thing? It's kind of like you'll be marketing to our entire network of people, but you can put your video in our thing and just use it as a way to bring more people to you if you want. But yeah, these could be all your modules inside of your thing. You didn't have to come up with the ideas. The ideas are based on things that are already working, and we know they're working because we could just pick videos that have lots of views. We didn't even look at that, but this has 75,000 views. This has 20,000. This one only has 916. Maybe we wouldn't want this video. This one has 67,000 views. So yeah, that'd probably be a good one. 3,300 views, maybe not.
So you probably want to go with the highest view ones, maybe like the top 3 viewed ones.
Either that, or like you could go and review, like you could even have it scrape comments from all of these. But we lost our other thread, but like in those comments, some of the kinds of things we could query based on for those comments. I'm just going to refresh this and see if it comes back. I think it didn't save the whole thread over here, but we'll see. But we could say, tell me what things people seem most passionate about in the comments they've written. Tell me where people seem to be expressing the most emotion about how they're feeling about something.
Yeah, I was going to say, isn't like Perry's 80-20 market research stuff from his book or whatever? I actually made a post on Perry's thing on that. I don't think anybody's ever commented on it. I was asking some people how they applied that in their own businesses. It seems like you're looking for the longest comments, the longest Reddit posts, all with the most emotional language.
The things where people feel passionate about their perspective, right? The bleeding neck is about the thing that I have to fix right now. I'm urgent and passionate about getting this thing resolved, whatever that thing might be. So sometimes it is the one with the most comments, but sometimes it's just the one with the longest comment. Sometimes it's just, but you might not even know that, right? So we did all that scraping. We don't have it because I started with the scraping issue, so it didn't save the whole thread of all of our stuff, which is annoying. I've not seen that happen too often. But anyway,
is it because it was in data analyst? Do you need to go back to data?
Because my computer is freaking out. It's probably what it is. More than anything, it's probably it just didn't save it. But yeah, I mean, just that concept of like, you could just ask it, tell me what it seems people are most passionate about. You could analyze this based on the length of the comments, the words that are used, or whatever. You could tell it to do all of that for you.
Yeah, my mind is getting a little bit tired of the technical stuff. But last thing I was going to ask you, I'm guessing this is you pretty much just ask it some follow-up questions until you get narrowed. Like, here's my next steps on maybe like the first project, which one seems like it could be the best, and then just stick with that one and do something with it and try to get some traction, I'm guessing. I was going to ask you, so for a layman person who is probably not using this stuff every day, how would I learn what is the 20% that makes 80% of the difference as far as like learning this and applying this for kind of what we're using it for? Like, in other words, is there like a resource maybe I could learn more? Is there a course? Is there just message?
Why, yes, go to my link, jonathan'sAItrainingcourse.com. No, I don't. I wish I had it. Such a good question. I know there are lots of them out there at the moment. I have learned some really good stuff about Midjourney and image generation from a guy named Christian Heidorn on YouTube, but that's not what we're talking about here. Sam Woods, honestly, and Perry's AI course is probably why Perry's AI course exists.
Yeah, I didn't
I don't know if they're still selling it.
I didn't even know if Perry had an AI course.
I don't know if it's for sale or not. So, I mean, you can email in like support at Perry Marshall and find out if they're still selling it. Or Sam Woods' course. Sam Woods. I forget what the URL is, but it's $1,000 course. But you might be able to email him and just find out AI training course if he's got it, or like I would just email into support at Perry Marshall and say, hey, I missed signing up for the AI training course. Oh, here it is. Copywriting.ai. No, AI copywriting workshop. Bionic Marketing. That was the name of it. So you can sign up for his newsletter for Bionic Marketing, but he also had what did he call it? It's about 3 years old now, 4 years old maybe. But I learned a ton about prompting for copy out of it. And then there's a lot of marketing stuff in there as well, just for market research and that kind of thing. But honestly, probably Perry's course with Sam. So Sam and Perry did a course together. I just email out to support at Perry Marshall and see if they have a thing that you could buy there. Because people have been really happy with it.
I messed around with Midjourney. Hadn't been back in college for years. I took a community college class specifically on a specific subject, and I used Midjourney in a project because it was totally allowed, and I asked beforehand, and I was able to create this like storyboard with Midjourney. And at first, I didn't understand it all. A lot of it was like learned on the job sort of thing because I didn't get a lot of training before I messed with it, but I felt like I knew a lot about it after I spent a lot of hours with it.
I mean, I think that's like anything, right? Where it's just like, oh, here's AI hyperdrive. Are they selling it? Yeah. So level up, $1,000 more. Click here to join. I guess they're still selling it. It's $1,500.
I guess it's just a one-time thing, and you got it forever, I guess.
I think so. Yeah. We've got access to Sam's course. So I didn't buy this because I've got a lot of training out of Sam's, but I would guess what they did is took Sam's, and from what I've heard about it, this is kind of it. They took Sam's course and experience and really honed it in for like the Perry Marshall world of 80/20 and how you're really going to drive in to the things that you need to do in order to work inside of a market. And I know there's a lot in there about automating these processes as well. Like we haven't done anything really in this call that has been automating this process.
Right.
But you can use Zapier and other tools to like make things talk to each other. The other one Sam references a lot is make.com, where you've got, you say anytime a new comment is posted on Reddit in this thread, and then you run it through a series of things afterwards, put it on this Google sheet, run it through AI and analyze it, put the findings on this column of this sheet, and then use anytime a new thing is added, you can set up a separate automation that anytime a new finding is added, send that off and write copy based on the new finding. And I would guess you could even then have it write a blog post and auto submit it to a WordPress page or auto submit it to your membership area where people can then see the latest finding. It is really unlimited. But yeah, I think the course, being that you're in Perry Marshall's world, I'd probably go here.
Yeah. Because that Sam Woods one may not even be there anymore.
Yeah. I don't remember Bionic Marketing. It was something like Bionic. I don't remember what the URL was, but yeah, it's Sam. But you could sign up for Sam's email newsletter too. And all of them are posted online at his site. So you can learn a lot just like reading through his background stuff. So bionicmarketing.io. Not sure why the images aren't loading, but anyway, like there's a lot of just interesting stuff in here. Grok for marketing. Yeah. So, I've learned a lot just even reading through this stuff. Oh, here we go. You're an expert market researcher and marketer. Your task is to help me develop my persona and better understand their psychology, needs, desires, and emotions. You'll receive context below. So Sam's got all kinds of stuff like this on his Bionic Marketing site as well.
Look into that. Yeah, I really appreciate your time, Jonathan. This has been.
Yeah, absolutely. Is there anything we talked about in here that you wouldn't want me posting on YouTube?
Not that I can think of, because we didn't research what I would have researched.
Yeah, we went way down the therapy rabbit hole.
But. There is one small thing. I don't know if you'd mind not recording for a minute, and then I'll tell you.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.